My girlfriend asked to be taken to visit her sick dad, but it turned out he was her sugar daddy, and she was betraying me all along. This morning, my girlfriend, let's call her Rose, she's 24, told me we needed to talk about something important. I didn't expect her to hit me with this, but she asked if we could open up our relationship. Felt like a punch to the gut. I'm 25 and we've been together for 2.5 years. Honestly, I thought we had a solid relationship. I was totally stunned, and I think she could tell because she started to backtrack pretty quickly. I asked her why she'd want to open things up, and she said something about it helping us grow. I mean, what does that even mean? Anyway, I'm not going to dive into the whole conversation, but I did my best to stay calm. Eventually, I told her I needed time to think and asked her to leave. She looked really upset, which makes me wonder if she thought I'd take it differently. My big question now is there any hope of saving this relationship? Up until now, I thought things were going well. Maybe I'm still in shock, but I feel hurt, and I've always heard that when one partner asks for an open relationship, it's basically the end. Has anyone here gotten through something like this, or does it always go downhill? Any advice would be appreciated. Edit. Okay, you guys have convinced me. I was already leaning toward breaking up, but since no one is saying this will work out, and most of you think she's already cheating, I'm gonna end it. I'm calling her now to tell her to come get her stuff. Thankfully, we don't live together, so there's not much to move. Thanks, everyone, for the advice. I really appreciate it. Edit 2. She's really upset, yelling at me about how I'm ending things over just a question. I probably should have packed her stuff and just let her come get it instead of calling her. Let's see what the community thinks. First up, someone said she's either already cheating or has someone lined up and wants to keep me as a backup. A lot of folks agree, don't open the relationship because it never ends well. Someone else chimed in, saying the open relationship idea usually means one of 3 things. 1. She's cheated and feels guilty, so she's trying to clear her conscience. 2. She wants to sleep with someone else but still keep me around for support and stability. 3. She's actively looking for a replacement and planning to move on soon. At this point, it seems pretty clear what's going on. Looks like Rose either already cheated or has someone in mind she's ready to hook up with. Heck, she might even have a list. At this point, it's over or it needs to be. Someone else put it perfectly. Don't ask any questions. Just say this, Rose, I've thought it over. Since you want to act single, I'm making you single. As of now, we're both single, so feel free to sleep with whoever you have in mind, but I won't be waiting around for you. I deserve better than that. Then you walk away. After that, go ahead and mark yourself as single on all your socials with a caption like, "It sucks when someone uses the excuse of an open relationship as a cover to cheat on you. Ah, the weekend, prime time for a relationship bombshell, right? It's like brunch, but with a side of emotional destruction." So, Rose drops the "let's open the relationship" grenade. Classic. It's like she's saying, hey, we've been sharing this ice cream cone for a while, but I kind of want to see if there's a better flavor out there. Then comes the backtracking. She's scrambling like someone trying to defuse a bomb they just threw. Oh, wait. I didn't mean it like that. Let's pretend I never said it. But really? Suggesting an open relationship to help us grow is like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. Sure, it might distract you from the pain, but it's not solving the problem. Update. Well, today has been a nightmare. When Rose came over to get her stuff, things didn't go as planned. She was adamant we weren't breaking up, especially not over some hypothetical situation. I'm not proud of it, but I sort of lost it on her. I've never yelled in our relationship, so it probably scared her a bit. But after reading all your comments, I was convinced she had already cheated, and I needed answers. Eventually, she broke down, and guess what? Y'all were right. She'd already slept with someone else, so much for that hypothetical crap. I thought I was heartbroken before, but now I realize I hadn't even scratched the surface of how bad it could get. I was a mix of pure rage and sadness. A really fantastic combo. There was a moment where I thought I might actually punch a hole in the wall, but I'm proud of myself for holding back. Instead, I calmly told her to grab her things and leave. By this point, she was hysterical, begging me not to throw away our relationship, saying we could work through it. But I told her she already threw it away herself. I just sat there, feeling numb, while she gathered her stuff. And, as some of you probably predicted, she didn't take everything. She left a bunch of her stuff behind. I should have packed it all for her, but now I'll have to deal with that later. Sorry for the long vent, but I had to stop there. I've been sitting on the couch, just thinking through everything. My phone's been blowing up with messages from Rose, her best friend, and even her sister. I don't even know how to break this to my friends and family yet. Honestly, I'm thinking I'll just pack the rest of her stuff and have a buddy drop it off for me. I really don't want to see her again. I feel sick just thinking about it. Thanks for all the advice, everyone. I'm glad I listened and didn't get tricked into something stupid. I didn't mention this in my first post, but Rose was my first serious relationship, so I was hesitant at first to let it go. It's been tough processing how my life changed so drastically in just the past 13 hours. I appreciate all of you who commented or reached out. The community keeps coming in with more solid advice. One person, a 44-year-old who's dealt with cheaters twice, said, "Tell everyone what happened, and do it fast. If you don't, she'll try to spin the story and make you out to be the bad guy. Sorry to say, but welcome to the club." Another person added, "It sucks, but you dodged a bullet. You don't have kids, assets, or a marriage tying you down, so block her and cut her out of your life. It won't be easy, but you'll heal." She asked for an open relationship because she felt guilty for cheating and wanted a way to keep doing it without feeling bad. Her friends and sister will probably try to convince you it was just a mistake and that you shouldn't throw everything away over one slip-up. But remember, she made a choice to cheat and lie, and the open relationship idea was just to ease her guilt. They'll gaslight you, so block them all. So, Rose was adamant that we weren't breaking up. Big surprise there. And, of course, it turns out this wasn't just a hypothetical situation like she initially claimed. I guess Rose didn't get the memo that cheating isn't part of any healthy relationship. That confrontation with her turned into an explosion of emotions. But hey, at least I didn't end up punching any holes in the walls. Small victories, right? Now I'm stuck with all of Rose's leftover stuff, like souvenirs from a terrible trip. On top of that, my phone's been going off nonstop, like a fireworks show, thanks to Rose and her little entourage of friends and family. I guess her new strategy is, if you can't win them over, drown them in messages. Update. I figured since my last post got so much attention, some of you might want to know how the last 2 days have gone. So yeah, my phone was blowing up with texts from Rose, her sister, and her best friend. I didn't respond to Rose at all, but I made the mistake of replying to the others, at least for a bit. You can probably guess how it went. Lots of "you're throwing away the relationship over something minor, yada yada." I did get a good laugh when her best friend called me a witch, not the word she used, for not fighting for the relationship, and claimed that if I let it go this easily, I clearly didn't care about Rose. That's when I finally deboed their butts and stopped engaging. I spent Sunday trying to avoid falling into a pit of despair and self-loathing by watching some football and playing Zelda. I think you guys would be proud. I haven't touched a drop of alcohol since all this went down. Today, I got to work on packing Rose's stuff. A buddy of mine dropped it off at her place, and he even sent me a picture of it sitting on top of her car. I had to admit, I found that pretty funny. A few of you were worried about whether I'd reached out to people. Don't worry, everyone I care about knows what went down. I finally worked up the nerve to call my mom. I felt pretty ashamed and had a hard time dialing her up, but it's done. I even sent a text to Rose's parents, letting them know my side of the story, just in case she's out there spreading lies. Had to Rudy Gobert their butts too, so they couldn't twist the story. One thing I wanted to clear up. Some of y'all thought the friend who didn't like Rose might have been the guy she had those hypothetical situations with. I'd be genuinely shocked if that were the case. He lives 5 hours away and only met her once. Plus, he's engaged, which doesn't necessarily mean he couldn't cheat. But I'd be very, very surprised. The support I've gotten from all of you has been overwhelming. I'm still a long way from feeling good, but you guys have helped me believe that it's possible to get there someday. I'm not sure if I'll update again, but I thought I'd give a little closure to those following along. Thanks, y'all. Taking a day to dodge the abyss of despair with some football and Zelda. Now that's self-care. And props to my buddy for the rooftop drop-off move. Felt like an Amazon delivery with way more emotional baggage. And yeah, I sent that text to Rose's parents just to cover my bases. No Pinocchio-level lies spreading around here. Here's hoping the future's brighter than a fully charged Master Sword in the Temple of Time. And if I ever need a good laugh or some advice, you guys will be the first ones I turn to. Shoulder to cry on. Just remember, Zelda never judges. Cheers, and may the Triforce be with you. If you've got a similar story, feel free to share it with us in the comments below. Next up in the game of life, while some people play chess, others prefer a scandalous game of Twister. In their marital bed. My stepdaughter, Becca, passed away 4 weeks ago. She was only 14. I've been in her life since she was 7, and we were incredibly close. My husband, Derek, 40M, his ex-wife, Sam, 38F, and I, 35F, have always had a good relationship. In the 8 years I've been with Derek, there was never any real issue between us. Sam was always kind, and she didn't even mind that Becca called me Mom too. After Becca passed, Sam fell into a deep depression. She has no family besides us, so we invited her to stay at our home. Mostly, she just stays in Becca's room, grieving and sleeping, which I totally understand. I've told her that I'm here if she needs anything and to take as much time as she needs. There's no pressure for her to leave. Earlier today, I had to run some errands and asked Sam if she wanted to come with me, just to get out of the house for a bit. She declined, saying she'd rather rest. I told Derek I'd be back in about 2 hours, and since he works from home, I asked him to check on Sam and maybe see if he could get her to eat something. I made a quick stop at the post office but realized I'd forgotten my library book, so I turned back home to grab it. As soon as I walked in the door, I heard moaning coming from our bedroom. My heart sank. I immediately knew what was going on. I wasn't sure what to do, but I decided to confront them. I walked to the bedroom, opened the door, and found them together. Sam ran to the bathroom, having a full-blown anxiety attack, while Derek kept apologizing over and over. I asked him what the hell was happening, and he explained that he and Sam had lunch, started talking about Becca, shared memories, and then Sam kissed him. He said he didn't pull away, and things escalated from there. They both begged me to understand, saying it was grief that made them do it and that it was a mistake. I don't know what to do. I love Derek and I care about Sam, but I'm absolutely heartbroken. They've put me in an impossible position, and I feel stuck. Now, let's check in with some comments from the audience. First up, that would be a hard no for me. I understand grieving, but how is that an excuse for cheating? What happens the next time he's sad? Edit. They clarified, obviously. This is something beyond devastating, but I still don't think grief can be used as an excuse. I replied, I don't want to excuse his cheating. I'm seriously considering divorce, but I'm anxious about doing it right after losing Becca. Another commenter added, do you both own the home? If it's in your name, change the locks. Stay strong, and don't listen to his excuses. I'm so sorry this happened to you during such a difficult time. I responded, thank you. I think you're right, but it's really hard to make a decision like this right now. Exactly what I was thinking, honestly. And yes, we both own the house. When I told him to leave, he kept apologizing and eventually agreed to go, saying he'd respect my need for space. Another comment mentioned, are you seeing a therapist? You're dealing with a lot and it might help. I replied, yes. I've been in therapy for the past 3 years. My therapist has been incredibly helpful, especially now. I saw her yesterday, and we worked through some things. Well, talk about turning grief into a threesome. Looks like Sam took sharing memories a bit too literally. Who knew mourning could be so arousing? Derek and Sam figured the best way to deal with their pain was to dive headfirst into each other's arms. Classic, right? And the cherry on top, they're trying to sell me the whole grief-induced intimacy excuse. Sure, because nothing screams, I miss our daughter, like hopping into bed together. Update 1. May 11th, 2024. I've made up my mind. I'm filing for divorce. I can't ever trust Derek again. It's gut-wrenching because I thought we had an amazing relationship. He's always been so great, so this entire situation is a complete shock. Last night, Derek came over to talk and he confessed to a lot. Turns out it wasn't their first time sleeping together. They'd been having sex since 3 months before Becca died. I'm completely shattered. Sam also reached out to me last night, thanking me for everything I'd done for her and apologizing. I didn't respond, I just blocked her. I did so much for Sam and thought of her as a friend, so this betrayal cuts deeper than I can even describe. It's all just too much. As hard as this is going to be, I need to leave Derek and cut both of them out of my life. I'm ready to move on. I'm done. Some people have said I deserve this because I should have known better than to let Sam stay in our home around Derek. But you need to understand that I'm a trusting and giving person. I thought Sam was an amazing person and never saw this coming. I know it's unusual to be friends with your husband's ex-wife, but that's just how things worked for us. I shouldn't be blamed for their actions. Thank you to everyone who's left kind comments and messages. You've been so helpful during this incredibly difficult time, and I really appreciate it. A couple more comments from the audience. Someone asked, out of curiosity, what are his excuses for cheating? Another added, those two are going to be in a world of hurt once the guilt settles in. They'll start questioning why it had to be Becca, and eventually, they'll come to the conclusion that this is their punishment for what they did to you. I can pretty much guarantee it. I replied, he told me they just accidentally reconnected one night while I was away at my mom's. He told me he was stressed because we weren't conceiving and had suffered miscarriages. So he vented to Sam. Somehow, that led to them having sex. Feels so icky. How could he talk about our struggles like that and then go sleep with Sam? It's awful. I just don't understand. Editor's note. Removed the first half of the update as it rehashed previous details. So Derek's been multitasking, huh? Juggling both you and Sam like some twisted love triangle. Three's a crowd, they say, but apparently Derek and Sam missed that memo. And Sam, oh, she thanks you for everything and apologizes? How sweet. Just what you needed, right? A hallmark moment while your marriage is burning to the ground. Maybe she'll send a fruit basket next. Update 2. May 13th, 2024. I've been getting a lot of questions, so I figured I'd answer a few of them. Have I told anyone besides my mom? Yes, I've told a few friends and some family members. Most are supportive of my decision and have cut contact with Derek. Where is Derek staying now? He's currently staying in a hotel. None of our friends will let him crash with them. He's lost a lot of people because of his awful decisions. Has he tried to stop the divorce? Yes, he begged me not to file for divorce. But when I told him I was too exhausted to keep fighting and needed him to let me go, he finally agreed to it. Why isn't Derek staying with Sam? He claims he doesn't want to hurt me further. So he told Sam it was over for good, and that they have no reason to keep in touch. I have no idea if that will last, and honestly, I don't care anymore. They can do whatever they want, I just want peace. What was Derek's excuse for cheating? He said they accidentally reconnected one night when I was at my mom's. He was stressed because we weren't conceiving and had miscarriages, so he vented to Sam. Somehow, that conversation led to sex. It's disgusting, and I know it. They both betrayed me in the worst way. Feel free to ask anything else, and I'll try to answer. Thank you all for the support and advice. Some relevant comments from the audience. One person asked about what happened to Becca. It was very sudden. She died in a car accident while she was with a friend and the friend's parents. Another asked if Derek's parents know and if they're supportive. I get along with Derek's mom, but he's a total mama's boy. It's complicated. She'll always be there for him. He'd stay with her if she didn't live across the country. She knows what he did and said she talked to him, but at the end of the day, he's still her son, and she'll help him with anything he needs. It's hard for me, but I understand. I'm really thinking I need to cut Derek's mom out of my life too. And that makes me really sad because we were so close. We used to talk on the phone almost every day. But after everything that's happened, it's hard to keep that connection when she's still supporting him. On having children with Derek, we had 6 miscarriages, all in the first trimester. It's been an incredibly painful journey. More updates. I just found out that Derek isn't staying at the hotel like he said. He's staying with Sam. He told me it's too expensive to keep staying at the hotel, and Sam is the only one willing to help him right now. I had a feeling this would happen, but knowing they're probably still sleeping together absolutely shatters my heart. This morning, I talked to a lawyer, and we're moving forward with the divorce. Derek agreed, and there's some relief in knowing he's not fighting it. My mom is leaving on Sunday, and I'm scared to be alone, but I go back to work on Monday, so I'm hoping that'll be a good distraction. I'll keep updating if anything else happens. I'm so grateful for all of your support. It's been a lifeline. Audience comments. Someone asked, how did you find out he was staying at Sam's place? Anything he says should be taken with a grain of salt since he's not being honest about anything. I replied, he texted me this morning after we talked to the lawyers. He said he just wants to be honest with me. I told him to stop updating me on his life. It's not something I need or want to know. Honestly, it seems like he told me just to hurt me. Another user checked in, asking how I'm doing. Thank you for asking. I'm doing a little better today. My mom and I went on a couple of nature walks and spent some time in the garden. It helped. Becca loved gardening with me, so it made me feel closer to her. Derek staying with Sam now. Well, it's less of a hotel and more like Heartbreak Inn, where the only thing on the breakfast menu is regret. And let's talk about Derek's friends. They've ghosted him faster than Casper on speed dial. But of course, there's a twist. Derek has decided to cozy up with Sam because, nothing says, I'm sorry for cheating, like running back into the arms of the person you cheated with. Real smooth, Derek. And his excuse is a real gem. He said the stress of miscarriages led to sex with his ex. Yes, the classic stress relief method. Cheat on your wife. Works like a charm, apparently. Becca's diary, May 15th, 2024. Today, I decided to go through some of Becca's things. I found her diary in a box in the back of her closet. Part of me feels like it would help me feel closer to her if I read some of it, but another part of me feels like it's wrong to do that. I haven't told Derek I found it, and I'm unsure if I should. What would you do? Someone asked if I was close with Becca before her passing. Yes, Becca and I were extremely close. Close. It always felt like Becca told me anything and everything, but I suppose all parents feel that way about their kids. So, I'm a little nervous about reading her diary. Just a little update. May 19th, 2024. It's been a few days, so I thought I'd give a small update. My mom is leaving in a couple of hours, and I'm kind of anxious about being alone. She's been such a good distraction and has kept me going. I'm not sure how I'll handle things when she's gone. Tomorrow is my first day back at work since Becca passed away, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it because it'll help me stay distracted. Also, I ended up reading some of Becca's diary. It made me love her even more. She was such a sweetheart. I went back a few months and noticed that she wrote about some strange behavior between Derek and Sam. She didn't say she knew about the affair, but she did think it was odd how the three of us would hang out more than usual without me. Other than that, it's mostly just her being a teenager, talking about crushes, fights with friends, happy family memories, and stuff like that. I might read more, but nothing disturbing so far. Tomorrow, I'll be talking to my lawyer again, so I might have more updates soon. Thanks for all the love and support, everyone. Last update for a while, May 26th, 2024. I've been getting a lot more messages and comments, so I figured I'd do one last update for now. My first week back at work went surprisingly well. I wasn't expecting it to, but my coworkers were incredibly patient and helpful. On Friday night, I realized I didn't want to stay home alone all weekend, so I drove up to my mom's. It helps that I had a 3-day weekend, so I've been able to spend extra time with her. I'll head back home tomorrow. For those of you sending hateful messages because I read Becca's diary, I just want to say you have no idea what this feels like. Telling me I'm a bad mom for reading her diary is absurd. Reading her words made me feel even closer to her and reminded me just how caring and sweet she was. It's helping me get through one of the hardest times in my life. So please, don't judge me when you have no idea what it's like to be in my shoes. I don't have much else to update for now, but I'll come back when the divorce is finalized. Thank you to everyone who has been kind and supportive. You've helped me feel less alone, and I'll be forever grateful. The age-old dilemma. To snoop or not to snoop in your deceased daughter's diary. Just another day in the life, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to peek into the mind of their child when they're no longer around to share their thoughts? And let's be real, it's not too soon. Sometimes you just need to feel closer, no matter what form that takes. And behold, what do we find? Teenage crushes, happy family memories, and oh, just a sprinkle of suspicious behavior between Derek and Sam. Because nothing says quality family time like a love triangle brewing in the background. New update. Sam saw my Reddit post and is threatening to sue me. June 1st, 2024. Sam apparently made a fake Facebook profile just to message me, saying she wants to sue me for telling strangers about what happened. Derek's backing her up, of course. Like, am I not allowed to vent about my life to people online? I just want my life to get better. And now this. I'm so tired. Screw you, Sam and Derek. Edit. Sam found the post, commented on it, and messaged me here too. Blocked her. More information. Someone asked about the messages, so here's what she said. I didn't reply, just ignored her. It might be an empty threat to make my life harder. But who knows? The message went something like this. So, I was scrolling TikTok and stumbled across an account that reads Reddit posts. And guess whose post they read? Yours. First, you tell your friends and family, and then you go to strangers online and air our dirty laundry? I can't believe you. This wasn't just your business to tell. Becca would be so disappointed in you. Get ready, because I think I'm going to sue you for this. You did this to yourself. Remember that. I'm honestly baffled that she thinks Becca would be disappointed in me. Like, really? They're the ones who destroyed our family, and now Sam's playing the victim? Unbelievable. Ah, the old thread of a lawsuit. The ultimate, I'm mad at you and I want you to know it move. Because nothing screams, let's resolve our issues like mature adults, quite like threatening legal action over a Reddit post. Forget civil conversations or apologies. Nope. Let's just jump straight to courtroom drama. And then there's Sam's guilt trip about Becca being disappointed. Classic manipulation. Dragging a deceased child into this mess to somehow shift the blame is truly next-level gaslighting. Unbelievable. So what do you make of all this? Do you think posting on Reddit was wrong? Would you have done the same in this situation? Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next update. Until next time.